Good morning, friends, and welcome you to this daily dose of trivia. This is a daily show, and we actually bring the trivia, which is very important for us to know, and it also elevates our IQ. The rule of the games are very simple. The question will get displayed on the screen, and then you will get 60 seconds to respond and 30 seconds for your brain to work and come up with the right answer, and 30 seconds for you to type in and send it across to us. So 60 seconds for you. So remember this, friend. Without further ado, let's move to the first question. In the year 392, which Roman emperor declares Christianity or Christian religion as the state religion? And the time starts now. Well, friends, the Christian religion was not so popular during the Roman era, and as you know that the Christianity evolved mostly among the Catholic, as we know them today, the Catholic Roman Church. So the it took them nearly 400 years to catch on, and then finally the main creme de la creme started to follow the Christianity in the Roman, really up in the society. And therefore when the senior kings and senior people started converting to Christianity, that really gave the boost. But even after the death of Jesus Christ, it took almost 400 years to catch on. So let's find the answer to this question. It is the Roman Emperor Theodosius. He actually made Christian religion as the mainstream state-sponsored religion, and therefore, when the king changed, the entire Roman population changed to Christianity. Prior to Christianity, they didn't have any religion; they had only way of life, and as you know, the Roman way of life was so successful. They had a reign of nearly 2,500 years. First in the Roman world, and then subsequently when the Romans were defeated in 400 AD, the Roman culture continued in the current day Turkey. Okay, let's move on to the next question. In the year 1701, who presents the Charter of Privileges guaranteed religious freedom for the colony in Pennsylvania? And the time starts now. Well, for those who do not know, Pennsylvania was the first colony which was formed in the New World, which is now known as USA or North America. So let's find the answer to this question. It is William Penn. William Penn was the English explorer who actually led the first settlers to create a colony and create some sort of organization. And William Penn basically gave the name also. Pennsylvania is known after his name, and he actually allowed every subject, all religions to have equal rights in that colony, which is known as Pennsylvania. And the right answer has been given by Edify Learning. Your answer is absolutely right. Okay, let's move to the next question quickly. In the year 1731 in Philadelphia, who opens the first library in North American colonies? And the time starts now. See, one good thing in the new USA, which was formed on the democratic and liberty, basically they understood the value of knowledge, value of study, and value of invention. So they did a lot of good things, and because of that, a lot of inventors and educators chose to go to USA and start their business, start their career, etc. Rebuild their career in the new world, basically. So, who established the first library in the first colony in the United States? Let's find the answer. It is the Benjamin Franklin, and if you know, Benjamin Franklin is also the one of the founding fathers of United States of America. Now, the answer has been given by Edify Learning. Edify Learning, you have given the right answer. It is Benjamin Franklin. Okay, let's move to the next question quickly. In the year 1789, who first created or distilled the bourbon whiskey? And bourbon whiskey is very popular, but who actually invented or distilled the first bourbon whiskey? Time starts now. So friends, if you don't know, bourbon is the name of a place where this whiskey was invented. Let's find the answer. It is the Elijah Craig from Kentucky. He actually brewed the first or distilled the first bourbon whiskey. It had a distinct taste, and therefore bourbon whiskey is very very popular because it has a distinct taste different from the Scotch whiskey. uh, okay, let's see who have given the right answer. It is the Edify Learning. You have given the right answer, absolutely correct, Elijah Craig. Let's move to the next question. In the year 1895, who produced and detects the electromagnetic radiation in wavelength range today known as X-rays? 1895, who actually detects X-ray for the very first time? And the time starts now. Well, for the people, for the junkies who are thriving in the world of science, X-ray is a form of a light, or X-ray comprised of photon, which are highly energetic, and they are so energetic that our body can't stop them. They pass right through, and that is why X-rays have many applications in the area of medical sciences and also many other areas. So and they are very energetic. In fact, if you have an X-ray laser, it is very sharp and it could be devastating also. So let's find the answer to this question. It is the German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen, and in fact before it was known as X-ray, it was also known as Röntgen ray, and therefore X-ray is now used in a lot of medical devices and also military usage. Let's see who have given the right answer. It is the Röntgen is given by Edify Learning. Your answer is absolutely right. Let's quickly go to the next question. In the year 1904, who invented the first separable electrical attachment plug? Basically, in short, a plug which goes into the socket on the wall. Who invented it, who designed it, and who standardized it in 1904? And the time starts now. You see, we take the electric plug and the sockets as a standard, whichever country you go. So there is a standard. There are a couple of standards which are floating around. There is a standard in Africa. There is a electrical standard in Asia Pac, UK, and there is a standard for North America. So if you travel with these plugs and sockets anywhere in North America, you're supposed to carry those kind of standard attachments. But the person who first realized that there is a market for it, there is a need for this, was this gentleman? Let's find the answer. It is the inventor Harvey Hubble. He is also the manufacturer. He also is a very brainy person who actually first realized that the standardization in electricity is required. Otherwise, people will not be able to travel, will not be able to change houses, or it is sort of unsafe also if you just use exposed wire. So if you have a wire terminating into a plug, which is a standard, so then you can actually take your appliances anywhere in any new house and start using them. So no answer for this question. Let's move on. In the year 1966, which movie actor and the future president of USA was elected governor of California? And their time starts now. Well, Ronald Reagan was a very popular actor back in the days. In fact, he used to be acting in the Western classic, and he was really smart. And even as a president, he was one of the most popular president that the United States of America have seen. And that's the answer. Ronald Reagan is the answer for this question, because in the year 1966, his political career really kicked off, because he became the governor of California. And governor of California is very powerful position. If you know, the some say the status of governor of California is almost equal to the president of United States. So he later goes on to become the president, not once but twice. And he is also very down to earth person. So if you know his personality, he was very grounded human being. That is why people liked him, and he was one of the most popular president of USA. There were 2 assassination attempts on him, but he survived, and he is also very fit. Till the right age, he was quite fit. Okay, let's move to the next question. In the year 1984, who became the first mom to go into orbit? The time starts. So the space age was opening up in the 80s, and a lot of people were trying to get into lower Earth orbit over the space shuttle, and therefore all kinds of people were getting trained. And however, the record of first mom being in space, I mean woman and also mom, let's find the answer. It is Anne Lee Fisher. She actually went on a space shuttle in the 1984 and reached the outer space, being a mom Obviously, she did not travel with her kids into outer space, but then she has the world record of being the first mom in space. Let's go to the question. Next question. In the year 1999, please name the 19th James Bond film. And time starts now. So, friends, James Bond, if you're a fan of James Bond, you should know the answer to this question. 1999, the 19th James Bond movie was released. What was the name? Let's find the answer. World is Not Enough. Very, very meaningful movie. It tells you how the politics of the day works, how the news are created, and how the opinion is changed. All that is the background of World is Not Enough, starring Pierce Brosnan and others. And the whole idea of this movie was, since the world was coming out from the Cold War, because prior to this movie, all the Bond movies were based on the spy activity between East and West and the Cold War. But this movie made the change, because now the movie is all about the political espionage, and the spy is going behind, identifying who are the people who are creating this news business and using this as an espionage. All right, let's move to the next question. In the year 2014, which former USSR president warns that tension between America and Russia over Ukraine will put world on the brink of a Cold War again? And the time starts now. So, former USSR president. That was a key word, because the USSR fell in 1991. However, this person made the prediction that there could be a new type of Cold War which will emerge between East and West based on Ukraine conflict. Let's find the answer. It is Mikhail Gorbachev. Gorbachev actually was very old at that time in 2014, but he predicted that this internal conflict between the Russian states, with Russia and Ukraine, will create another East Germany type situation and create another Cold War. So how right was this prediction? We are going through a Cold War situation right now, especially in the European sector. All right, let's find if there are more questions. Of course, in the year 2016, which Indian PM announces the demonetization of all rupees 500 and rupees 1000 banknotes, cancelling nearly 86% of the currency in circulation? to battle the corruption. Who was this prime minister? And time starts now. This was a easy question. Let's find the answer. Even though it is an obvious answer, it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi actually declared in a undecided, not pre-decided television broadcast. It came as a surprise to everyone that the 500 rupees note and 1000 rupee note will be demonetized, and this was comprising of nearly 86% currency in India. However, demonetization was not done in a knee-jerk reaction. It was managed in a very good way, and 2 months time was given to all the citizens to actually approach the bank and exchange their note to the new note which was released. So the idea was that whoever is storing this black money, as we call as it is called in India, money which is taken out from the system and stored or harrowed in some place, so that they can then use it for different nefarious activities like terrorism or bribery, etc., etc. So whoever has stored that money will have to declare that money back into the mainstream, and that if you don't do that, then demonetization was successful. Your money will become dirt. So even if you have stored that money somewhere, thousands and thousands of millions of dollars somewhere, it will not be of any value after the 2 months gestational period is over. So this is how the demonetization was done in 2016 by Prime Minister Modi. All right, let's see if we have more questions. Of course, in 2016 again, Republican Donald Trump is elected the 45th President of the United States of America. Who did he defeat? And the time starts now. We know that Donald Trump is the president, was the president, and he is now aiming to come back again in the next general election in USA in 2024. But last time, who did he defeat? That was a question. Let's find the answer. It is the Democrat candidate Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump defeats Hillary Clinton in 2016 to come to power and became the president of United States of America. Let's move to the next one if we have any. In the year 2018, which country introduced the world first virtual news reader? We are living in the era of virtual reality, but way back in 2018? Which country released the first virtual news reader? Time starts. So now people are talking about virtual reality, and in fact, they are going one step ahead. They are talking about merging the real world with the virtual world, and that new reality will be called augmented reality. But then, this is not a new concept. Way back in 2018, a country introduced a newsreader, a virtual newsreader, which absolutely looked like a human being delivering the news. And this country was the China. The Chinese state agency developed the software based on the Chinese search engine Sogou, and they also introduced the first virtual news reader anywhere in the world. Nowadays, we get a lot of freewares and also paid ones, and you can create your own virtual, presenters. But I want to tell you that I'm real. I'm not virtual. But then there are virtual presenters and newsreaders. You cannot distinguish between a real human being and a virtual one. All right, so let's go to the next one. In the year 2020, which company successfully conducts the world first test of high-speed levitating pod system to carry people and cargo? And the time starts now. Well, levitating pods, which is using the magnetic and electrical interaction, and then move around without any friction. Well, this is also known as hyperloop. Let's find who was able to test this system for the very first time. And that is the Virgin Hyperloop in Vegas. And Virgin Hyperloop as a company is owned by the Virgin Group, and they tested their whole system for the very first time. The Hyperloop technology is very unique. What it takes is that you create huge tube network and create vacuum inside it, and then on the other end you levitate the pod with passengers or freight in it. And when it is levitating, there is no friction, there is no connection between the track and the bogie. And then since there is a vacuum in the tube, it shoots out at very high speed and travel in straight line, or you can even make a curve as long as it is in the your equations are right. It can take a turn also, but the whole point is that it is traveling so fast, almost 1000 kilometers an hour, or probably more. There is no limit because the capsule is not touching the walls of this tube, and the tube is vacuum. So it shoots at very high speed. So basically on land you are able to travel many times faster than the air travel. So that was the whole point. But then Hyperloop did not caught on, simply because of the challenges in the economy, because building this system is very expensive, and safety and security of the passenger. So these are the two reasons. I think the research is still going on. People are trying to see if they can reduce the speed and make it more safer so that it can be more adaptable. So friends, we have come to the end of our daily trivia. Join me back tomorrow again, same time, and we will continue our journey. Thanks for watching and catch you tomorrow.